KSEE 24 News begins with your forecast first from your local weather authority.
I'm Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox, and our live Valley Cam shows that our visibility is not bad, but the skies never really cleared all that well today, and visibility across the valley is still 7 miles in Fresno. Look at the temperature. Our high today was 59. It is still 57 degrees outside, and that's indicating those low clouds are still there. So we're not going to get all that cold, and that means that we won't see as much of a fog problem. Our live radar showing our skies are quite clear. The satellite picture from during the daylight hours showed how those low clouds tend to hang on. We may see that tomorrow, but maybe we'll actually get some clearing skies. Keep your fingers crossed. If we do, we'll get into the 60s. I'll have your complete forecast coming up. KSEE 24 News at 11 starts right now.
Local news that matters. This is KSEE 24 News at 11.
It's time that the city is held accountable. It's time that they actually listen to the residents of South Fresno.
Tonight, a call to action. Residents in South Fresno fed up with all the construction, saying it has become a health hazard. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alexander Balaki, and Stephanie has the night off. More on our top story in a moment, but we begin with some breaking news out of East Central Fresno tonight. Fire crews responding to a fire at Las Villas apartment off of Maple and Fountain Avenues. Fire crews say one of the buildings that connects 24 units had smoke coming through the roof. Firefighters cut through a unit to gain control of the blaze. We do have a crew on scene gathering new information at this hour. We're going to get a live update in just a couple of moments. Developing tonight, a man lucky to be alive after he was slashed with a sword in northwest Fresno. The attack happening around 4:30 this afternoon at Marks and Herndon, where Fresno police say a 38-year-old man was slashed. The 42-year-old victim was slashed in the arm during an argument. Investigators say the two knew each other. Officers wrapped the victim's arm in a tourniquet, which likely saved his life. He's now in stable condition. Governor Newsom back in the Central Valley today, pushing for more people, especially kids, to get the COVID shot. Our Medeiros Bab tonight with more on the governor's stark warning to those who have yet to get vaccinated as Kings County continues to show low vaccination rates.
Just wanted to do it for my grandma because I care for her a lot.
Fiamma Mora and her 9-year-old and 11-year-old daughters rolled up their sleeves outside of Avenal High School to get their COVID-19 vaccines.
For Mommy Chela, remember, keep her in mind.
For the Mora family, the shot the best way to protect their grandmother during the holidays.
I have my mom that is a bit high risk, and I mean, I figure why not try to do it for her if anything. I know they were a little hesitant, but they kept thinking to themselves, for Mommy Chela.
So far, so good.
Governor Gavin Newsom visited the vaccine site on Tuesday specifically to promote COVID-19 vaccines and boosters. Despite California leading the nation in the number of vaccines administered, Central Valley counties have much lower vaccination rates, all while many Valley hospitals continue to operate at or near capacity.
They're connected. We were just talking to your interim health director, 89%. 90% of folks that are in the hospital down the road, 90% are unvaccinated. This is not complex. This virus, this disease is not taking the winter off.
Kings County has one of the lowest vaccination rates per capita in the state, with only about 50% of residents vaccinated. Yet in Avenal, interim health director Darcy Pickens says around 71% of residents, excluding the prison population, have gotten the shot.
It is a big deal. The health department has been here to provide the service, but it's been Reef Sunset School District, it's been the supervisors, the mayor, the city of Avenal who have really pushed this effort.
Medeiros Bab, KSEE 24, local news that matters.
We want to return to that breaking story now out of East Central Fresno. More than 24 residents in an apartment complex evacuated after a fire broke out, and it spread quickly. Our Liv Johnson live now at the scene with some new developments. Liv, good evening.
Evening. Well, officials say it started in one unit that was in the middle of the complex, and that one unit is connected to 24 others through one singular attic. Now, battalion chief says the department received multiple calls right after 7 o'clock, and when they arrived on scene, they realized the one unit where the fire originated, like I said, is connected to 24 other units through an attic, and the fire was spreading quickly among them. The first thing which they did safely and no injuries were reported. But Escobedo says if residents hadn't called so quickly, the situation.
Tell you what, if we didn't get the calls coming in and we didn't get here within 4 minutes, we would probably be looking at 24 units and however many displaced in all those 24 units tonight.
Residents inside 4 units are displaced, but everyone else was able to re-enter. Escobedo says he also believes the building is old enough to where the code did not apply to have fire breaks between all the apartments, which is why it was all connected and the fire was able to spread so quickly. There might be more people displaced because the firefighters did have to shut off the building's power, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. Live in Fresno, I'm Liv Johnson, KSEE 24, local news that matters.
Liv, thank you. KSEE 24, your local election headquarters. A heated war of words inside the Fresno County Hall of Records this afternoon as the Board of Supervisors holding the last of 2 public hearings on redistricting. It was a packed house today as residents expressed their displeasure with the proposed map, and that map is labeled 101B, saying that it does not fairly represent the current Fresno County community and only serves to protect the current supervisors. The board making a motion to adopt that map, which is the one selected by the county's consulting commission drawn by the National Demographics Corporation.
Map 101B is the status quo map proposed by a partisan political operative. It is an incumbent protection plan that keeps things almost exactly the same, empowering the few at the expense of many.
The creators of the map arguing that it preserves the district as majority-minority. The board is scheduled to adopt that map on December 14th. Tonight, a call to action. A group of South Fresno residents demanding the city take action against industrial developments and that they say causes pollution and it's a health hazard. Residents say the new Amazon warehouse is what is sparking all of the action they've taken this year, working with Leadership Council for Justice and Accountability to sue the city.
It's time that the city is held accountable. It's time that they actually listen to the residents of South Fresno.
Residents are demanding the city stop rezones that allow more industry in South Fresno neighborhoods and adopt a legal complaint general plan program environmental impact report that ensures meaningful protection for residents, and that Leadership Council are still waiting on a court date to be set. Still to come here at 11, a Valley hotspot getting a major upgrade.
We did really cool things, represented community baskets with actually cattle hide leather and with laser engraved basketry and tule.
We're going to give you a behind-the-scenes look at the local casino making some big changes in hopes to get more people to come over and stay. Also, an unusual process in the jury selection for the trial of the Kyle Rittenhouse. We're going to share what the judge did that was so different.
Your weather headlines tonight: the low clouds will continue and fog is getting a little iffy as the night goes on. At least some partial clearing is expected tomorrow, and if we do, we should get a little bit warmer. In your 4-day allergy forecast brought to you by Boz Allergy, that'll stay in the low range through the weekend with elm and juniper the predominant pollens. I'll have the complete forecast as KSEE 24 News continues.
Let's help feed Valley families
in the KSEE 24 Turkey Drive with Catholic Charities.
So donate a turkey November 23rd at the KSEE 24 studios.
And help us provide meals.
The KSEE 24 Turkey Drive, November 23rd.
Stop by our studios or text GIVE to donate. The KSEE 24 Turkey Drive, November 23rd. Presented by Fiesta Tax Services.
For those ready to answer adventure's highest calling, we've built our most capable Subaru yet. With sure-footed symmetrical all-wheel drive, 9.5 inches of ground, turbocharged climbing power. Discover adventure elevated. The all-new 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness.
Get to Subaru of Fresno, where every new Subaru comes with complimentary maintenance included.
Hey everyone, tonight we have an all-new show. Jared Leto is here. Vanessa Hudgens is joining us. And we'll have music from Tom Morello featuring Grandson. It's a great show.
New Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon. Night.
Hi, I'm Annie Foreman, 2021 President of the Fresno Association of Realtors, here with the most up-to-date real estate statistics for our local market.
The number of active listings is 843, up 4.2%. The median sold price of a residential home is $375,000, up 15.4%. The sales to list price is at 101%.
In this quickly evolving market, it's important to work with a trusted and informed local professional. Contact your local realtor today.
KSEE 24 News is brought to you in part by Serve Pro of Clovis.
Now, AMS certified Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox with your local weather authority forecast.
Well, the difference between low clouds and fog is just a few feet. Fog is a cloud that is just next to the ground. Now, today we started with fog, and that's why our morning low was at 53, and the low clouds were there. The visibility was okay during the day, but the clouds didn't go away, and so we only got up to 59. So the difference between the low and the high temperature was only 6 degrees, and normally we'd see 20. Our Valley Cam powered by 813 Properties. This is Meadow Lakes. This is time-lapse photography, and look of fog across the valley, although it wasn't all the way down to the ground. So this is the low cloudiness. And again, this camera is at about 4,000 feet. So we're looking down over those low clouds. And that's what's keeping our temperatures in the 50s range. And the same thing that keeps us cool in the afternoon also keeps us warm at night. Remember, our high temperature was 59. It is currently 57. We've only lost 2 degrees between 4 o'clock in the afternoon and now. And 56 is where we are in Hanford and Visalia, 55 in Madera. Visibility, not bad. 3 miles in Porterville and Lemoore, and that's the worst of it. 7 miles visibility right now in Fresno. So as long as those low clouds remain, we won't get cold enough to actually support any of that fog. So live radar shows our skies to be clear. This is the satellite image from earlier in the day during the daylight hours, and you can see how the clouds were really slow to clear away, and they're still not doing it. So our satellite picture above shows a little bit of cloudiness just in the last couple of frames. Now, is that little wave going to be enough to stir the atmosphere up and actually cause those clouds to clear? And that would open the door for fog tonight and then clearing for tomorrow. And the answer is maybe. So we're looking tonight at variable clouds above, and we see some visibility issues, and our Futurecast fog model has a lot of low visibility extending all the way down till 5:40 in the morning. Look at all that along Highway 99, quarter mile or less, and into tomorrow. By the end of the commute hours is starting to clear a little bit, and by the time the noon hour rolls around, we're going to see things a lot better visibility wise. And if we see some sunshine, our temperatures should come up a bit. Air quality remains moderate across most of the valley. Good air quality in Sequoia National Park. Temperature of 45 in Pixley, 46 in Tulare, and also Visalia, 47 in Hanford. This is all contingent upon some of the clouds clearing away. 48 and 5 points. Madera, 47, 48 in Chowchilla, 46 in Merced. High temperatures, again, counting on some sunshine. 65 in Dos Palos, 66 in Fireball, and San Joaquin. Selma, 65, same for Huron. Coalinga, 67. Expect a 66 in Visalia. Porterville, 68, 65 in Pixley, and Delano, 64 degrees. Your renewable solar forecast. Looks like we're going to keep our numbers on the lower side Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We are going to see a little more real clouds coming our way with even some potential showers for the mountains. In the meantime, patchy fog and 52, the overnight low, and even that number might be pushing it. Patchy morning fog and low clouds, and with some clearing, we could get into the mid-60s, hitting 66 for a high, which is pretty close to normal. 68 on Thursday, and then a little increase in clouds coming our way, and sprinkles possible for the mountains. Not a big rainmaker, but 67 for Friday in Fresno, and then dropping back down to 64 on Saturday, and we're going to keep the mid-60s. It looks like right on into early next week. Overnight lows down into the upper 40s. We could see patches of fog, but I do think some drier air is coming our way, so there's a little less chance of that. Your regional forecasts are available on our website at yourcentralvalley.com, so please go check it out there. And what's happening is we got the low clouds and the fog is just stuck right now. We need something to come in and clean it out. It's actually the same problem as when we had the smoke. We need something to come in and move it along.
Interesting. It looks like fall is kind of sticking around.
It wants to, yeah. And winter is coming, though.
All right. Can't wait for that. All right, AJ, thank you. How about this? Some newly renovated hotel rooms at the Tachi Palace Casino Resort. And take a look. The first phase of the renovation on the second floor of the hotel that's going to open up to the public tomorrow. Some of the new features include special high-tech touches, and especially in the bathrooms.
We have the state-of-the-art bathroom with smart glass technology, so the bathroom's all enclosed in glass, and you hit a button, it all automatically smokes. We did really cool things, represented community baskets with actually cattle hide leather and with laser engraved basketry and tule, and we really have all the technology features with all the USB plugins.
And the general manager says throughout the rest of the year, 80 of the renovated hotel rooms will be completed, and next year, all 200 rooms will be completely finished. Well, time to see what's coming up next in sports. Let's welcome in Scott Bemis. Hey, Scott.
Alex, I got a funny moment involving Bruce Bochy and a Bulldog defensive end getting an all-star invite. And we had some regional volleyball at Clovis High tonight, and it came down to the wire. Sports Central is next.
10 short films by 10 Valley filmmakers. Join KSEE 24 for the Big Tell Showcase, inspiring local stories throughout our valley. Made possible by these local partners. The Big Tell, November 27th at 8 on KSEE 24.
Responding to reviews gives me the opportunity to stay really connected with my customers, and that's the primary reason that I do that. We get a lot of good reviews, and those are nice to hear, makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside. But anytime a customer takes the time to provide their feedback to us in a negative situation for them, it gives us the opportunity to learn from it. The acknowledgement of the mistake and our actions we take thereafter are what's important.
Fall allergy season has started with grass and weed pollen and high levels of mold in the air. Air pollution makes allergy symptoms worse. Boz Allergy knows coughing, wheezing, and headaches due to allergies and asthma can mimic COVID-19 symptoms, and flu season is starting. Come to Boz Allergy at the first sign of symptoms. Rest assured, we'll diagnose and stay safe and stay healthy. Contact Boz Allergy today and breathe easier.
Hi, it's Stan from Horn Photo, and if you're into photography, you're going to love this offer. It's our annual Cash for Cameras event. Get cash on the spot for used digital cameras and lenses. Don't miss Cash for Cameras at Horn Photo in the Bellagio.
I am Fresno PD.
I am Fresno PD.
I am Fresno PD.
I am Fresno PD. I am Fresno PD.
The strength of the diverse culture found in Fresno is also reflected in our police department. I ask you to join us at the Fresno Police Department.
KSEE 24 News is brought to you in part by Fresno Unified School District. Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
Let's get you out to Clovis High. Rich Lakes Cougars trying to win their first ever regional volleyball title, hosting Redwood out of the Bay Area. Fifth and deciding set, 6'1" junior Sydney Vanek of the Cougars with a couple nice swings. The Clovis Zoo loving it. This one was tight. Redwood has a match point up 15-14 in the fifth now, and a Clovis hitting error wins it for the Giants. The Giants come back from 2 sets down to take it 16-14 in the fifth. The Cougars have to settle for some regional runner-up hardware.
We talked about it right at the beginning that, we're getting this chance here to do something special, and that's what we did for girls volleyball. This is the first time we've actually played in a regional championship, so we're super proud of that. We're really proud of how they represented the school and our program.
The Fresno State Jenkins, only 51. Jenkins passed away from cancer over the weekend. For the last 4 years at Fresno State, Jenkins oversaw internal aspects of the athletics department. Before that, though, she had already established herself as a nationally recognized trailblazer in 24 years of service at Auburn. In 1994, she was the first woman in the SEC to oversee a media relations department. And after moving into athletic administration in 2005 at Auburn, she developed the Wings program to help female student athletes. This past summer, Auburn named a building in their athletic department in her honor. Meantime, Fresno State defensive end Aaron Mosby has been invited to participate in this year's Hula Bowl. It's an all-star game scheduled for Orlando, Florida on January 15th. The Sanger native is third on the Bulldogs with 4 sacks this season. Gabe Kapler, who skippered the Giants to a franchise-best 107 wins this season, was named National League Manager of the Year Tuesday night. Kapler beat out Craig Counsell of the Brewers and Mike Schilt of the Cardinals in voting by the Baseball Writers Association of America. Finally, but it's time for that video a little better than the rest. It's Bemis' best. And speaking of Kapler, He found out he won the award from former Giants manager Bruce Bochy, although the live announcement didn't exactly go flawlessly.
Well, I'm still waiting for the news here. I'm sorry.
No, go right ahead. I'm sure you're waiting for a text message to get to you right now. Is that what it is?
I guess. Hold on one second. I'll see if they sent on my. Yeah, I'm not going to be that guy that announces the wrong guy. I'm sorry. I haven't got anything. So I'm not going to go out on a limb here, Greg.
Live TV, right? We know all about that. One basketball note before I go. Ex-Bulldog Paul George had a game-high 34 points for the Clippers in a 14-point win over the Spurs. The Clips have won 8 of 9. We'll be right back.
Paul Mitchell, the school Fresno, is proud to be helping we can help you pursue your career in cosmetology or barbering, and financial aid is available to those who qualify. Come make it happen now at Paul Mitchell, the school, Fresno.
When it's time to explore, it's time for a new Toyota. Experience the drive like never before. Dive into something new, or come back to the things you missed most. New Toyotas are arriving daily. Take on the gnarliest terrains with a capable Tacoma and dependable Tundra. All Toyotas come with Toyota Safety Sense and Toyota Care Standard. Grab the keys, come on, let's go. Toyota, let's go places.
Any parent will tell you, the second you have a kid, it's like your heart is living outside of your body, which means you never, ever stop worrying. That's why we got health insurance, and for way less than we thought was possible. The kid's doctor and dental checkups are free, and I get screenings for my cholesterol and my blood pressure. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still worry. Just a little less. Covered California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by December 31st at coveredca.com.
And now it powers our latest innovation to heat and cool your home more efficiently. Introducing the world's only solar-powered home energy system, which saves you up to half off your heating and cooling bill.
The future of home comfort is here now at Donald P. Dick Air Conditioning. Get the latest in home comfort and energy savings with Mr. Cool. Get up to $13.75 in rebates or special financing.
Think premium can't be capable? Think again. Introducing the first ever AT4 lineup. Premium and capable. That's professional grade from GMC. Current eligible GMC owners get over $2,500 purchase allowance on 2021 GMC Sierra light duty crew cab models when you finance through GM Financial.
Now YourCentralValley.com pros who know.
Take advantage of a 26% tax credit when you have solar installed. The experts at Bratton Solar have the experience to make sure you save the most money and to help you with any financing.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
This is KSEE 24 News at 11.
Astronauts on the International Space Station had to seek shelter yesterday as a debris field came dangerously close to orbiting platform. The 7 people on board were ordered to move to their respective capsules as the ISS passed dangerously close to more than 1,500 fragments of space junk. The debris was created when Russia conducted a weapons test that destroyed a Soviet-era satellite. Crew members have since emerged from their capsules. However, the ISS will continue to pass near the debris field every 90 minutes, according to NASA officials. NASA will continue to monitor the situation very closely. Well, tonight, hundreds of National Guard troops are standing by outside Kenosha, Wisconsin, as the city awaits the verdict in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. He could get up to life in prison if he's found guilty of murder. In an unusual process, Kyle Rittenhouse himself randomly selected the jury of 7 women and 5 men, all white except for one person, will now decide whether the 18-year-old could spend the rest of his life in prison.
Folks, you can retire to consider your verdicts.
Rittenhouse facing 5 felony charges for killing 2 men and seriously wounding another.
No justice!
Outside the courthouse, tension starting to grow as protesters and supporters wait for the jury's verdict. 500 National Guard troops standing by outside Kenosha in case there's unrest. Over 8 days of testimony, prosecutors tried to portray Rittenhouse as an instigator with an AR-15 style weapon. The defense argued Rittenhouse went to provide medical help in the town where his father lived and ultimately had to defend himself.
The prosecution in its closing argument was very strong on the issue of provocation, because if Kyle Rittenhouse is the initial aggressor, he loses the privilege of self-defense.
Tonight, the governor of Wisconsin calling for peace in Kenosha and across the state, regardless of the outcome. Still to come here at 11 o'clock, a new energy from the public for finding the truth out about UFOs. We're going to share the push from lawmakers to get to the bottom of the unexplained phenomenon in today's edition of Mystery Wire.
Richie Gamblé here, and it's time to go off-roading for cash and prizes at the Tachi Palace during our 240K trip. Piece of the cash prize, or be the lucky winner who gets their truck on in a brand new 2021 Toyota truck. And trust me, this baby can carry loads of cash. See the Premier Club for complete details. Be there for the 240K truckload of winning giveaway. Only at the Tachi Palace Casino Resort in Lemoore.
It's a nice truck. It's a Chevy Silverado. Check out this multi-flex tailgate. Wow. Count step.
Mom, Dad's flexing again.
This extends out for longer stuff.
Is he still flexing?
That's right. And it becomes a workspace.
The Chevy Silverado with the available multi-flex tailgate. Find new flexibility, find new roads.
Very well qualified buyers can get 2.49% financing and $1,750 total value on this Silverado All-Star Z71. Plus, unlock your code to claim $500 Chevy Cyber Cash on most Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups.
I just had a friend direct message me and say, how can you work in media? It's so negative. There's so much bad news. And I messaged her back and said, there's always more good news than bad. And I think that at News Nation, we have the opportunity to show more positivity and the stories of people from all walks of life. When you have something like Morning in America to wake up to, you can guarantee that you're not only going to leave more informed, but you're going to leave more inspired.
We do need to stand with each other, don't we?
Weekday mornings on News Nation, the fastest growing cable news network.
Turn hard-working days into happy nights. Our Battery AK Homeowner Series starts at just $199.99. Real steel. Find yours at over 10,000 local steel dealers.
Do you own a home that you want to sell fast at a fair price?
We're the ones to call for a no-obligation cash offer.
Hey, I'm Derek.
And I'm Adam, and we're Golden Gate home buyers.
We buy houses in any condition and any price range.
And pay cash fast when you need it.
We buy your house with no commissions or hidden fees. And we never have to make any repairs.
So call us today for cash fast. Call 559-380-CASH. That's 559-380-CASH.
I was not confident in my teeth at all before I had braces.
I had gaps in my teeth were uneven.
Dr. Tom and his team definitely made us feel very comfortable.
They did treat me like family.
They did treat us like family. I was comfortable to ask them any questions about my teeth, and they would give me an honest answer, and I really appreciated that.
I was surprised just of how quick it was.
Fast Dental Fresno made it super easy, and in as little as 4 months, I had my dream smile.
I would absolutely recommend it.
A U.S. Senator proposing a brand new program to investigate UFO sightings, but Senator Kristen Gillibrand intends to go way beyond identifying unknown lights in the sky. The proposal in Congress is one of several high-profile events in recent weeks, focusing on whether we are alone in the universe. George Knapp with more in tonight's Mystery Wire report.
Back in June, a blockbuster report from the Director of National Intelligence stunned Washington by acknowledging 144 incidents since 2004 where the U.S. military encountered unknown aircraft, UFOs, and of those 144, 143 remain unidentified. Days ago, the Director of National Intelligence appeared on stage in a discussion of our future in space and told the audience that we cannot rule out the possibility that some UFOs could be of extraterrestrial origin. And in Congress, which is already considering a new and permanent UFO investigation, the U.S. Senator from New York has proposed something even more ambitious, a study of how close encounter cases affect human health. Writer Bryce Zabel is among those who welcomes the news.
I look at it as a super positive. I don't want to look to the government for all the answers because the government has historically kept us from a lot of these answers. So I can't get 100% excited about the government doing it, but I think what it does is it kind of unleashes some other powers that are out there. But first reaction, very, very positive, thinking it's about damn time.
Zabel is an investigative reporter and writer who's worked on projects about ETs with some of the biggest names in Hollywood, including Steven Spielberg. What's next on the political and entertainment fronts? The interview on MysteryWire.com. George Knapp reporting.
Oh, that Mystery Wire report always has us, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm always interested. You know, they said 143 are still UFO. I want to know about the one that they found out what it was. That's really
I think
cool.
it was like balloon lights or something.
Oh, it's always balloons.
I interviewed Congressman Adam Schiff about this. But,
okay.
All right, something
visibility's not bad. Yeah, I don't know that we'll see very much fog tomorrow because the low clouds are there. It's the next best thing, and it keeps us from getting very warm. If we get clearing, we'll get into the 60s. If we don't, upper 50s like what we saw today. So we'll be on the lookout for areas of fog because if the clouds clear away tonight, it gets really cold really fast and it'll get cold enough to support some fog. So watch KSEE Sunrise tomorrow morning and find out from Ruben how the visibility actually is.
All right, set your alarm clocks. There you go. All right, AJ, thanks. That's going to do it for us tonight. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
KSEE 24 believes in the power of community, selling more Granville Home of Hope tickets than ever. And for the 5th year, we sold out. Thanks for helping us raise $800,000 for Central Valley charities. At KSEE 24, community matters.
COVID is an everyday concern, and testing